Hey cuties, welcome to my YouTube channel, sofuckingbomb.com. Today's makeup tutorial is going to take you on a tedious but simple enough full glam journey. I'll be using a mixture of splurge and bargain brands throughout. You might even have a few of the products I use already in your makeup bag at home. I truly put my heart and soul into making this for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you love it. If you like this video, please let me know by subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button. I'll link all products I use in this video below, either to my website, sofuckingbomb.com, or my Amazon storefront for your reference. Skincare and preparation are of the utmost importance for full glam makeup. After cleansing my face, I'm using a dermaplane facial razor to remove hair from my face, chin, upper lip, and eyebrows. This helps with dead skin cell turnover, minimizing the appearance of pores, and ensures a smooth makeup application to my skin instead of hair. Next, I've saturated a cotton ball with an alcohol-free toner and applying all over my face and neck to exfoliate, clarify, and refine my skin. I'm using Face Forward's Alpha Hydroxy Acids toner that I'll link below. I love this toner because it leaves my skin feeling refreshed and revitalized without feeling dry. I'll now apply an oil-free vitamin C serum and gently pat it into my face and neck, and then finish with a jade facial roller and gua sha tool that I kept in my freezer to reduce any redness, puffiness, and ensure the serum is completely absorbed into my skin. Vitamin C serum became an imperative step in my skincare routine years ago when I was battling severe melasma and hyperpigmentation. It brightens skin, it improves radiance, it provides antioxidant protection, and stimulates collagen production. This vitamin C serum that I'm using here is from Face Forward. It contains a potent 10% level of two forms of vitamin C that are anchored with silicium to optimize the brightening and smoothing benefits for the complexion. And it's also formulated without alcohol, barley, corn, oats, rye, soy, spelt, or wheat. It's paraben-free, and it's certified to sell in Europe. Next, I'm gently applying a soothing eye balm underneath my eyes to smooth, reduce the appearance of dark circles, and seal hydration. I'm obsessed with this eye balm because of how quickly it absorbs into my under eye area and how it prevents my under eye concealer from settling into any fine lines, wrinkles, or creases. Lastly, I'm applying rose face balm to soften, soothe, and subtly firm my skin. And you can now see that my face is perfectly primed and prepped for full glam. First, I need to color correct all of my dark spots and redness to make my face an even blank canvas before I begin. This is one of my favorite products for this, the NYX Profix Color Correcting Concealer Stick. I've included a link for this product in my Amazon storefront below, but you can probably find it at just about any local grocery or drugstore. Since I'm going to be using a highly pigmented eyeshadow for today's look, I'm not going to prime my entire lid area, just the inner and outer corners of each eye, underneath each eyebrow, and over the center of each lid for a visible lifting effect. As you can see, I'm just using my fingers to dab the product into my face as it starts to warm up from my body heat. If you have any hollowing out near the inner corners of your eyes and nose like I do, this is a very important step to make sure that those dark spots are concealed so that we don't have to go back and fix it again later. I like this product because of the subtle pink color, the creaminess of the formula, and the price. Since I want the drama of this full glam look to be all about the eyes, I'm going to use a foundation brush to blend in a mineral sheer tint cream from Face Forward in the shade Cameo Glow. I love this product because it does a beautiful job of evening out my skin tone, but leaves my skin with a very natural and radiant finish. I also love that this product takes an extra step out of my routine because it already has SPF 20 in it for protection against the sun. Notice how I'm making sure the product is completely blended in before moving on to our next step. After blending the mineral sheer tint, I'm using a foundation stick for just a little more extra coverage on my cheeks and around my T-zone. I love this product because it's buildable coverage and leaves a flawless airbrush-like finish without a cakey appearance. Just to keep it simple, I'm blending this foundation stick using the same brush I used to blend the Mineral Sheer Tint Cream. If you're in need of a foundation brush, I've linked some of my favorites from E.L.F. below in my Amazon storefront, or you can use that for reference if you see E.L.F. brushes at your local grocery or drugstore. For my under eye concealer and nose contour, I'm using my favorite bargain concealer, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser in the shade 120. I love the texture and viscosity of this product as well as the color. It's actually a multi-purpose concealer, so I'm using it to highlight my T-zone a little bit as well. Notice how we're building out the face with layers of coverage rather than all at once. Normally for a full glam face, I use Face Forward's under eye concealer in the shade Light Peach, but I purposely made this video using a mixture of different brands to show you that you can accomplish a bomb glam look without breaking the bank. And if you've made it this far in this tutorial, I'd be willing to bet you already have a plethora of products in your makeup bag ready to use. I also like to suggest ways to get the most bang for your buck, no matter the size of your budget. I'll blend using one of my latest obsessions, this Miracle 2-in-1 Powder Puff from Real Techniques. This one came with a travel case that has a mirror inside, so you can take it on the go or just keep it away from loose product that may be around in your makeup bag. The orange side is for liquid and the pink side is for powder. And it's best to use it dry, unlike some of those other sponges out there that you can wet before using. I stopped and advised my friends and clients against using sponges for makeup application a while back because of how difficult they can be to keep clean, which then can be more likely to cause skin irritation or breakouts. But this one is so easy to spot clean and be kept clean with the travel case. If you like another type of sponge, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Just use this as a reminder to do your best at keeping them clean, or just replace them every 30 days or so to avoid hoarding bacteria in your bag. I ordered this off of Amazon and linked it below to my storefront for your perusal. Now I'm going to build and blend out the base of my contour using another foundation stick and a darker shade. This one is the shade Spice from Face Forward. I'm making a short line under each of my cheekbones using the invisible line between my earlobe and the corner of my mouth as a guide, temple to temple along my hairline, on top of the bridge of my nose, and of course my jawline. If you're a beginner of contouring, don't allow yourself to be intimidated by contouring or highlighting. Practice makes perfect, and the best time to practice is when you don't have plans to go anywhere. In this step, blending is pertinent. When you think you've blended enough, blend some more. We'll be using the blended out base as our guide for applying powdered bronzer later on. You'll see all the blending I'm doing here, starting out with the powder puff and finishing with the foundation brush. The hardest part of learning how to contour my own face was the nose contour. You want to make sure that you blend the lines on top of your nose into place as much as possible without going too far down the sides of your nose. And you also want to make sure it connects to the inner corners of your eyebrows in order to be believable. We contour first and highlight second so that we can clean up any mistakes. To highlight, I'm using Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, the Liquid Freestyle highlighter in the color Vintage Velour. I'm using my finger and powder puff to place and blend over my bronze contour in the middle of each cheek, down the bridge of my nose, above the outer corners of my brows, and dotted in my Cupid's bow over my lips. This liquid highlighter is absolutely incredible. The color is spot on and it perfectly aligns with everything we're doing today. It's buildable, so you can go as subtle or as bold as you envision for any look. I'll now apply a liquid or cream blush. This one is Lip and Cheek Balm by Face Forward in the shade Ballet Slippers. I'm keeping the base shade subtle because, again, I want to keep the drama of this look on my eyes. I'm using my fingers to dab on each cheek over my highlight, going up and out toward my temple to enhance the lifting effect. I'm also letting it layer over the outside of my under eye concealer. This way, no one is able to see where anything begins or ends when they see me up close in person. I'll now set all of the liquids and creams I've applied thus far using powder. I'll first set my entire face with a translucent pressed powder, emphasis on pressed, not loose. I'll start with my under eye concealer using a powder puff and finish the rest of my face using whatever powder is left over. I'm slowly going over my under eye concealer with a light hand and repeating as need be to ensure it doesn't settle into any fine lines, creases, or wrinkles. If you get to this step and everything starts to go south, definitely refer back to either skin preparation or check the kind of translucent powder that you're using. But also, I'm always here to help, so please don't ever hesitate to leave a comment or reach out to me privately. Next, I'll set my contour with the pressed bronzer. This one is Tahitian Tan by Face Forward. I'm using a smaller powder brush for precision on top of my contoured base areas so that I don't interfere with any other parts of my face. Notice how on my face I'm patting into the contour to make sure it stays exactly where I want it. I only use the sweeping motion for my nose and on my neck. I always include my neck and my ears so that everything is in unison, especially when I know I'm going to be in pictures or videos. For blush, I'm using Dior in the shade Pink Lilac, patting it with a slanted brush above the bronzer up and out toward my temple until I achieve a pop of color to bring my cheeks forward. After that, I'll blend a foundation pressed powder with my powder puff over all the areas of my face that are excluded from highlight, contour, and blush for extra coverage. I'm using the shade Cream from Face Forward. Now using E.L.F. Halo Glow Setting Powder in the shade Light Pink, I'm going to bake around my cheek and nose contours for more precision and underneath my eyes to make sure they stay bright and for an easy cleanup should any pigmented dust fall while applying my eyeshadow. I'll now use a small eyeshadow brush and my bronzer to give my lids and the outer third of each eye some dimension before I start using eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm really excited about using this Huda Beauty Rose Quartz eyeshadow palette for my look today. If you haven't seen or heard of it, you've got to check it out. With a small eyeshadow brush from E.L.F., I'm first using the color Gratitude to build out how I want my eyelids to look, working from the outside in. Most people, myself included, have one eye that's smaller than the other or an eyebrow that sits above or below the other. So instead of accentuating that, I'm going to make the illusion that they're perfectly proportioned by looking straight into the mirror and sweeping from the outside in to avoid applying too much pigment toward the inner corners of my eyes. I want to keep the inner corners of my eyes as bright as possible. This eyeshadow palette is absolutely fabulous. It has 18 shades and includes every kind of color from neutral to sparkly, and it can cover a countless number of looks. For my dramatic eyes today, I'll be using 3 colors from this palette and then 1 from Face Forward. Next, using a smudge brush, also from E.L.F. and the color Aura, I'm lightly patting all of the pigment that I picked up from my brush on the outer corner of my lid, brushing slightly into, but not above or outside of the first Gratitude color that I used. I also am not going anywhere close to my inner lids with this color. I'm exclusively hanging out on the outer corners of my eyes, making a wide V or C shape, then diffusing the color slightly inward, not to exceed the outer third of each eye. I'll then go back to the small eyeshadow brush to blend and smooth the 2 colors together and diffuse any pigment dust left behind. If you think that you need to add any color to help with blending, start with your bronzer, and if that doesn't do the trick, then lightly dip your brush back into the color Gratitude. Notice I'm still keeping a small bright space between the eyeshadow and the bottom of my eyebrows. Now using an E.L.F. small concealer brush, I'll delve into the 3rd color I'm using from this palette, Energized. I purposefully am using a small concealer brush for this color because it has a creamier consistency than the first 2, and I found through trial and error that a slight swipe is the best method to building the bright, sparkly outcome I want to achieve. You can now begin to see the drama I've been talking about bringing to this look all along. You can see how I've built out my eyelid area to appear much larger than actuality, and how I'm able to correct the way I want my eyes to look. Proportionally dramatic. Now using an angled liner detail brush and a black indelible gel eyeliner, I'll line my upper lash line starting from the inner corner, keeping the liner thin and gradually getting thicker on the outer corner. From there, I'll start building out my wing. When determining where to start, I use the imaginary line extending my lower lash waterline to the very outer tip of my eyebrow and staying below my hooded crease. From there, I connect a straight line to the middle point of my upper lash line and fill in the blanks from there. Winged eyeliner is another skill to practice when you have nowhere to be, and I also recommend trying products that are more forgiving like dark eyeshadows if you're a beginner or if eyeliner is something you struggle with. I'll use the same brush and indelible gel eyeliner to press onto my upper waterline below my upper lashes. This small detail makes a huge difference, especially when applying false lashes. I'm now going to give precision to what I built with the indelible gel liner with a liquid eyeliner. This one is Pat McGrath Labs Perma Precision. I like this one because of the long skinny tip it has to work with, but if liquid eyeliner isn't something you splurge on, there's one from L'Oreal that I love just as much. I linked both of them below in my Amazon storefront. For the sake of time, I'll finish my other eye off camera. Next, I'll lightly dust away the excess powder we used to bake. Notice how it executed exactly what I was hoping for, keeping my under eye area bright and adding precision to both my highlight and contour. I'm going to use the black eyeshadow from this Natasha Denona Mini Xenon palette and an E.L.F smudge brush to connect my winged eyeliner to the outside corner of my lower lash line. Pro tip, you can use a small concealer brush as an eraser for any mistakes. I'll then use a pencil gel liner to line my lower lash waterline over the black eyeshadow, purposefully staying on the outside corner. Then using a flat, thin eyeliner brush, still with the black eyeshadow, I'll finish lining my lower lash line as thin as possible, stopping before I reach the inner corner. I'll now brighten the inner corners of my eyes with a white shimmer indelible cream eyeshadow from Face Forward. Notice how I'm looking straight into the mirror so I can apply it exactly where I want it. Next, I'm applying a couple of coats of mascara to both my upper and lower lashes before applying false lashes off camera. The lashes I applied are the Ardell Naked Lashes number 421. I'll link these and my favorite lash glue below in my Amazon storefront. I'll use my favorite bargain liquid eyeliner for this next step so you can see what it looks like. I'm running a line across the top of my false lashes to ensure that you can't see the glue. Don't ever skip this step when wearing false lashes. It makes a huge difference. For my eyebrows, I'm using a dual-sided powder pencil. I'm brushing the hair of my eyebrows downward so I can see which spots need filling in. I'll then use the microfiber tinted brow gel to add texture and hold them into place. My eyebrows are microbladed, so I use that as my guide when applying. This is another one of my latest obsessions that I'll link below. It's the Benefit Highbrow Duo Pencil in linen pink and soft gold. For this look, I'm going to use the linen pink side to highlight my outer brow bones and then pat it in with my fingers. I love the immediate brightness and lift I see after applying this product. I'll now start building out my lips, starting with one of my favorite Face Forward lip liner shades, Holly Berry. I'm staying inward for the outer corners of my mouth, then you'll see me start to overline once I reach midway of each side. I'll also soften my Cupid's bow by rounding out the tips, then start filling in corners for an ombre effect. Next, using the same face-forward lip and cheek balm ballet slippers that I used earlier on my cheeks and a small E.L.F. concealer brush, I'll paint my lips inside my lip liner. I'll now finish with Face Forward's luxury lip gloss in the shade Pale Petal, swiping over the center of each of my lips. With one of my E.L.F. blending brushes, I'll do one more pass with my foundation powder. I'll finish this look by using a small powder brush and my favorite powder highlighter to highlight my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, and over the outside of each of my eyebrows. And lastly, I liberally coat my entire face and neck with Benefit's Professional Super Setting Spray and quicken the drying time with my mini handheld fan. That concludes everything for today's dramatic glam look. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please let me know by subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button or commenting below. I hope to see you again soon. Love you, mean it.